A young girl named Katherine is married off to a man significantly older than herself. At night, a maid named Anna helps her prepare for bed. Once alone, Katherine waits for her husband. When he finally enters the room, he bluntly informs her that she is to remain indoors at all times and will not be allowed to go outside. After asking her to remove her shirt, Katherine quietly undresses. He then switches off the light and silently gets into bed. The next morning, Katherine sits on the windowsill, gazing out at the world beyond the glass. It marks the beginning of her new life. By the following day, Anna enters her room again to open the shutters. Katherine is visibly distressed by the dullness and monotony that surrounds her. Her only source of distraction is the window that looks out onto nature and the fireplace, whose warmth often lulls her to sleep. The girl quickly gets tired of this lifestyle. Before dinner is over, Katherine goes to her room. Boris, Alexander's father, does not like this. He tells Katherine about it, demanding that she not fall asleep and wait for her husband in the bedroom. Katherine is followed by Anna, whom Boris orders to make sure that his request is fulfilled. After a while, a drunken Alexander appears in the room. He demands that Katherine take off her shirt and sit by the fireplace. Turning her face to the wall, as the man demands, Katherine hears the sound of unbuttoning her pants behind her. After that, Alexander begins to do manual labor. In the morning, Katherine asks Boris where her husband went. According to the old man, there was an explosion at one of the mines owned by the family, and Alexander went there. Tomorrow, Boris is also going to London on business, so the girl will have to stay alone in the estate for a while. As soon as the old man leaves the house, Katherine goes outside for the first time in a long time to get some fresh air. In the morning, Anna and another maid leave the house, and Katherine falls asleep in front of the fireplace as usual, but wakes up to screams outside. As she leaves the house, she hears voices in one of the buildings. Entering the building, Katherine sees company employees wrapped in sheets. Anna is hanging in the middle of the room. Sebastian points to her and says that they are weighing pigs. Katherine orders them to let the girl go, and then says that since they have spent Alexander's time and money on this entertainment, the girl will now look after them. When Katherine returns home, she learns the name of the sassy worker who has recently joined them. In the morning, she goes for a walk and meets Sebastian again. Katherine ignores his words about the house being in the other direction and smiles. As night falls, she hears a knock at the door. Opening it, Katherine finds Sebastian, who says that he is very bored. The girl tries to close the door, but the boy enters her room and puts Katherine in a corner. Sebastian tries to kiss her, but she pushes him away and then throws herself at him with kisses. This is the first morning in this house when the girl woke up happy. From that day on, she and Sebastian have been meeting secretly to fulfill their physical needs. Early in the morning, while picking mushrooms, Anna meets Sebastian. The girl who was walking the dogs hints that his secret meetings with the owner could end badly, but in response, Anna hears only threats. As night falls, Sebastian comes to Katherine again. The maid sees him through the keyhole. In the morning, Anna goes to Katherine's room. She opens the windows and announces that Lester has returned from a trip to London. At dinner, Boris asks Anna to bring him some champagne, which Katherine drank in the absence of the men. Not having betrayed her mistress, the maid is humiliated by Lester, who forces the girl to get down on all fours. After learning of Katherine's betrayal, Boris goes to the barn. There, he beats Sebastian and then orders him to lock up. When Katherine finds out, she demands that he let the worker out. For this request, Lester slaps her. Another quarrel ends with Boris going to his room and Katherine propping the door with a chair. After that, the girl asks Anna to sit next to her, as Katherine does not like to dine alone. She starts asking the maid about her family. Boris starts knocking on the door, saying that he is not feeling well. But Katherine orders him to sit and not open the door. As soon as the screaming and banging subsides, Katherine sends the maid to fetch a doctor, and she runs to the barn where Sebastian is locked up. The doctor who arrives can only pronounce Lester dead. Sometime later, Katherine receives a letter from Alexander. He cannot come to his father's funeral. The girl is sure that Alexander hated his father, and that's the whole reason. After burying Lester, Katherine begins to meet with the boyfriend almost openly, and the maids discuss the death of their master, in which Anna blames herself, because that day Boris ate the mushrooms that the girl was picking. Because of this, Anna lost the gift of speech. Katherine tells Sebastian about this, assuring him that the maid will not be able to tell her master anything because of her illness. The girl confesses her love to the boy, saying that as long as she is alive, she will never part with him. She will follow him anywhere, even to the next world. One night, Katherine wakes up to a noise. Looking out the window, she notices Alexander's horse below. Waking Sebastian, Katherine sends him to the back room and waits for her husband. She tells him that she woke up to the horses whinnying. Looking at Katherine, Alexander notices that she has noticeably put on weight, not the same as before. Before leaving, the girl goes to get tea, and while drinking it, Alexander confesses that he has heard rumors about his beloved's infidelity. For this, he threatens to expel Sebastian. Since Alexander knows everything, Katherine goes to the back room to get the boy. She puts him on the bed. Taking off his pants, Katherine climbs on top of Sebastian in front of Alexander. Furious, Lester beats the girl and then starts fighting with Sebastian. But Katherine, grabbing a shoelace, eliminates her husband. Sebastian buries the man's lifeless body in the woods. To hide the traces of Alexander's return, Katherine takes her husband's horse to the forest, where she hides the animal. Since then, Sebastian has been plagued by insomnia, but Katherine claims that Alexander wanted to eliminate the boy himself, but they beat him to it. Now, they have the right to live a happy life. This happy life is disrupted a few days later by a woman named Agnes. She brings a boy named Teddy to Katherine's house and says that he is the son and heir of Lester Jr. Katherine cannot believe it, but Agnes has official documents to prove it. Sebastian believes that the woman is lying about Teddy because only at his hand could Alexander have become pregnant. When the boy is in the house, Sebastian refuses to meet with Katherine. If they are seen, the boy will have to leave. So, while they are here, Katherine has to forget about the meeting. While watching the boy and the maid play in the morning, Katherine notices Sebastian leaving with Anna. The girl runs outside, where Teddy begins to pick on her, and Katherine pushes him away. The boy runs away in tears. Katherine returns to her room, where a maid comes in later. She tells her that they can't find Teddy. Together they go in search of the boy, whom Sebastian finds near the waterfall. Looking at the boy and the raging river, a sinister plan is hatched in the boy's mind, but his conscience prevails. Sebastian brings Teddy home, where Agnes scolds him for asking him to bring the boy a blanket because he was so cold. Not wanting to be humiliated, Sebastian is about to leave the estate. He tells Katherine about the perfect opportunity to eliminate the Lester heir, but does not take it. Katherine asks him to wait. Entering the room where Agnes is keeping watch over Teddy's bed, Katherine persuades the woman to go to bed. She will watch the boy while she sleeps. When Agnes leaves, Katherine lets Sebastian into the room through the window, and together they get rid of the heir. Sitting next to Teddy, Katherine waits for dawn until Anna appears in the room. At the same time, feeling guilty, Sebastian sobs over the grave of Alexander Lester. He then rushes to the mansion, where Katherine deceives the doctor by saying that she fell asleep and that when she woke up, Teddy was no longer breathing. Pointing to the boy's fresh bruises, the doctor asks Katherine if someone could have entered the room while she was sleeping. At this point, Sebastian enters and confesses to the crime, betraying Katherine, telling the doctor and the detective about the murders of Alexander and Boris Lester, whom Katherine poisoned with mushrooms. The girl denies this, saying that Anna always picked the mushrooms, and Sebastian went to the forest every morning with a maid. It is possible that Anna poisoned Lester because the old man had severely beaten Sebastian and locked him in the basement. Anna can refute this if it is not true, but the maid has lost the power of speech after the death of Boris Lester and cannot confirm or deny anything. Because of this, Anna and Sebastian are sent to hard labor. After that, the other servants leave the estate, leaving the pregnant Katherine alone in the house. This is where the movie ends. As the saying goes, the girl wanted riches, but ended up alone.